Hello, everybody. Welcome back to A Sweet Journey. I am Sonia, also known as Sweets, and I am also aware that I am outside and I live by a pool, so there's a lot of activity. I just finished Bible study, and I just really felt compelled to come and share what was on my heart. Last week, I started a series, which ends today, so a two-part series about self-care and the value of self-care. And in Bible study today, it was said we read Genesis 5 and I forgot Genesis 5 and 21 through 24. And I've read this many times, but today it landed differently, and it was that Enoch lived 65 years. And then it goes on, after he had Methuselah, he walked with God 300 years. And there was something about that started making me really question the distinction between living and walking with God. And we had this conversation around truly anchoring in what does it look like to actually walk with God. And we also read in Ecclesiastes, where it says vanity of vanity, everything is vanity. Someone named that this vanity is smoke. It could be translated, the Hebrew word can be translated as smoke. And so when you think about everything being like smoke, you can't actually grasp smoke. And so I've lived for 54 years, and God willing, in about 12 days, I will be 55, God willing. And this question came to my mind because self-care has been the area of focus. What if self-care is actually self-denial? The way that I've been holding self-care is a little bit more deceptive. Maybe there's something underneath it. And what if truly what we're trying to get after, the things that we're doing, for me, going different places, and not to say that we don't go on vacations and do road trips and things like that. That's not actually what I'm saying. But what if self-care is denying myself? And this is what came to my mind, and what I really want you to just think about. What I said and what came to my mind is, the more that I focus on myself, the more care self needs. And I'll say it again. The more that I pull myself into focus, the more I have to care for myself. The more there's not enough care that I can provide for myself. And so the more self is in focus, the more care the self needs. So there's this kind of three-part that I think about. One is this acknowledgement, and really, sorry, there's a bird. Interesting. Interesting. Let me just show you. Oh, one just flew away. Hi. Hello. Hi. Good morning. If you could just give me a minute. Oh, hi back to you. Interesting. Huh. All right. Sorry. I know. Spirit of the living God. So as you think about it, there's three parts. The first part is, what do I really want in this moment? What is the thing that is really calling to me, that I really want, that's making me feel like self-care is a priority? What is that? For me, I'm seeking for peace, and I'm seeking for just some serenity and some like a soft life and like those things. So what is that for you? What is the thing that is calling to you that you really want in this moment? And so the invitation is to set that aside. So I want all these things, and I feel like I actually deserve these things. But what if I set it aside? And if I sit it aside or set it aside, what am I replacing it with? And I think that is the key. So the first thing is like really getting grounded in what is the thing that is driving what you want in life and what you want in this moment. What is the thing that is like driving that and fueling that? And whatever it is, whatever you pull into that space, whether it is your mom and it's your children, or whether it is like you're a professional and it's your job and you want to promote, or you want a relationship, or you want healing in your body, whatever that thing is that you're wanting in this moment, can you set that aside? And when you set it aside, then what do you replace it with? Can you replace it with God? And I know, and it's a shift of focus. So like if I am not focusing on self-care, what am I focusing on? I'm actually shifting my focus to God. And when I shift my focus to God, then I have to actually trust Him for those things that I want desperately and feel like I deserve and need. And there's a scripture that says, love God with all of your heart, with all of your mind, with all of your soul. And Jesus is saying that is the greatest commandment. And then it says, and the second one is like it. And then love your neighbor as yourself. And so we start with this, like putting everything that we want forward, like naming it. This is what I want. And then we move it to the side. And when we move it to the side, we get to this middle space where if I'm not worried about it, if I'm not focused on it, then maybe I give it to God and let Him do what He does with it. And then I fix my eyes on Jesus. And I say, Lord, I actually trust you with my life. And I was reading in Ephesians chapter 2, where it says that He is our peace. The very thing that I've been praying for all week, like I just really want peace, I really want peace, is that He is our peace. And so exactly what I've been wanting, exactly what I've been looking for, He is that. So instead of me pulling forward what I want and focusing only on what I want, if I move what I want to the side and focus on Jesus, He is the thing that I'm looking for, which is incredibly powerful. And so the last part of it, and so we acknowledge the thing that we want. We just name the things or the things that we want. And then we set it aside. And then we replace that focus with a focus on Jesus. And we give Him those things. And when we do that, then we can then love our neighbors as ourselves. Because now my focus is not on me, it's on Him. And if I'm focused on Him, He's going to help me love other people right. And then I'm all in purpose. And then I'm doing the thing that I really was sent here to do. And so I am hard pressed to change the way that I view self-care. As a matter of fact, shift it over and move it to the side so that I can actually focus on what's important. And I have to trust that when I focus on what's important, which is Jesus, He, one, has those things that I was worried about, and two, then puts me in a position where I could actually help somebody else. And to me, that's just so much better than self-care. And so, yeah, that's the lesson that I got from the study today. I wanted to share it because I was like, self-care looks a little different to me now. It occurs differently to me now. And I just want to live a life that I am not the center of my focus. That the center, I'll say this and then I'll be done. Let's put like the times where I was the focus of my life. I remember I had lost a lot of weight one time, and I was working out. I was doing jazzercise. I was working out. I was doing all the things. I was in a job that I really enjoyed, and I was just really happy. I was really happy, and I was very much focused on self-care, whether it was working out or eating right. I was eating really well, and I went to bed one night. I woke up the next morning, and I could not move. From literally my jaw was locked, my fingers were curled in, my legs, I couldn't move, my toes were curled. So all of that focus of self-care, I woke up and I couldn't move. I couldn't move at all. And so what did that focus of self-care actually yield? So like I was focused on eating right, I was focused on working out, I was focused on these things. That's all great. But what actually did it yield in that moment for me? Nothing at all. And so I cried out to the Lord, and eventually I unthawed, is what I call it, long enough to make a doctor's appointment and to get it together. I ended up being diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And though I do believe that there are things that I can do, that I can eat a certain thing and I can work out, and that will help. That can't be my focus though. I have no idea what life is going to bring in the next moment. I have no idea if I'll make it to 55. God willing, I will. I have no idea. And when I go back and I close out with that Ecclesiastes, like vanity of vanity, everything under the sun is vanity. And it's not to make you sad, but it's to make you understand it's smoke. Like detach from the things that you actually want. And when you detach to it, give it to God. Like really literally, like, I'm going to give this to you. I've been really focusing hardcore on it, so much so that I have anxiety about it. I'm stressed about it. Those things that you're stressed about, self-care is not what you need. Not going to help. Because you're going to do self-care, you're going to get right back, and you're going to be stressed again. And that's a vicious cycle. And that is the deception. But give it to God. And understand life is lifing. We have no idea. We can't grasp it. It's smoke. And so either we can cling to things that we want and think that we have control over the things of our life, or we can let it go and acknowledge that it's smoke anyway. We can't hold on to it. And so self-care no longer becomes our focus, but really, truly caring for the things that Jesus cares about. And he cares about people. He cares about hurting people and people who are lost and people who are clinging on to things that are fading, and vanity of vanity, smoke. And so that is the conclusion of the matter. And I'm really excited. I'm excited about what's next. And I'd love to be like Enoch, like I've lived for 54 years. What will it look like this next, whatever amount of time I have left to walk with God? That's what I'm wondering. And then for you, what will it look like to walk with God? Thank you so much for watching, fam. I love you all so much. And hopefully something was encouraging to you today. I will see you next week. Bye.